got like that like late 1970s vibe.
Nice.
And then plus you're a biohacker.
We're live.
We're live.
Welcome to Beef Bootlegger Chophouse.
Thank you.
We're here at Meat Stock 2026. What brings you here?
So we're a vendor.
Yep.
Obviously. I have a brand that I created 5.5 years ago that is sweets.
What is the brand? What's it called?
It's called Switch.
Switch?
Yep. And we have a line of sugar-free candies and sweeteners that even if somebody's carnivore, the truth of it is that there are moments in time when having something a little bit sweet that doesn't trigger the binging and that supports the metabolism are needed. And that's
I know once I get a little bit of sugar, I'm all in. The binge, Fitz can attest to that. We get into the milkshakes hard. Yeah.
I mean, sugar is one of the most addictive ingriously in the world.
I think it is
more addictive than cocaine. Mm-hmm. I don't know what else is out there, but I do know that sugar's like horrendously addictive.
And your substitute for sugar is what?
So we use allulose as our primary sweetener.
And what's the difference between allulose and conventional sugars?
Okay, so here's what I love. So conventional sugar, so table sugar, for example, is 50% glucose and 50% fructose. And the problem with that is multitude. Aside from spiking your blood sugar, which no one wants, the other part of it is that the fructose part of it is processed in the liver. And this is what, with high fructose corn syrup, which was this fantastic alternative to sugar, but did more damage probably historically than any other sweetener in the history of humankind. Mm-hmm. And it's the reason that we have non-fatty liver disease in such a high incidence.
I didn't know that.
That is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease specifically. It used to be that only heavy drinkers had that. Now you're seeing it even among pediatric ages because they have a fatty liver now. So here's the thing, you have fructose, which can create high uric acid and a million other things. It's not awesome. There's even certain cancers that thrive on fructose, and it actually can stimulate their growth. So now you have allulose, which is almost identical molecularly, except that it has one of the carbons is on the opposite side. And some guys in the doctors and whatnot are calling it the good twin.
The good twin.
Of fructose, and fructose is the evil twin.
The evil twin, yeah.
So what's amazing about it is it's been shown to reduce blood sugar impact. It stimulates GLP-1 naturally in certain small doses over time. It has been shown to reduce uric acid, to reduce fatty liver. And there's even a study that shows that it hijacks that pathway that fructose uses to expedite cancer growth. Mm-hmm. And it actually has been shown to slow cancer growth.
So they're running some tests on that.
It's pretty exciting. It is literally,
really exciting.
For me, it's the most amazing sweetener.
I was going to say, taste-wise, it's almost identical. So we're tasting some of the different products that you guys have.
Yeah.
And it just tastes like regular sugar, even the maple syrup.
That's right. I mean, what's great about allulose is that, so it has a clean flavor. It's a monosaccharide like sugar, but it doesn't do any of the things that sugar does, right? So it does brown like sugar, it does crystallize. The reason that I chose allulose is because I can't handle any sugar alcohols, like even erythritol. I just cannot. It just tears me up. And I don't like the way I feel when I have it. So for me, when I discovered allulose, I was kind of excited, and it's not that I wanted to even eat a lot of it. I don't consume stevia because my body doesn't feel good when I have it. Probably maybe some ragwood kind of allergy, because it's related to ragwood. So some people don't do well with stevia.
Okay, interesting.
And also the aftertaste.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'd have to train my palate to be okay with it. And I have a really big family. So I have 4 grown children and I have 6 grandchildren. My oldest granddaughter's 20. My youngest grandbaby will be 1 this year.
Congratulations.
This month. Yeah. So for me, I have such a big family and food is our love language. I wanted to have products in my life that support my metabolism and that I can actually share with other people so that they don't have to fall back on sugar because it is so addictive.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you say that. So a lot of people here are very passionate and have their own product mix or whatever. Same with me with the beef thing, but it's a personal journey that you did, and then you feel so good or you found something that's so special you want to share it with everyone.
Yeah.
And so you doing this 5.5 years ago, so that's pretty early in the allulose game, I think. So you're very much maybe an early practitioner of figuring out the benefits and then doing something about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so for me, I was making, I have a loose connective tissue disease, and because of that, I wanted a fun way to get a little bit of extra collagen in my life, but also I don't eat sugar of any kind, and I don't eat anything that turns into sugar in my body. I personally follow a therapeutic ketogenic diet. Everybody doesn't have to do that, but that is my journey and my story, because I found that when I'm in ketosis, the swelling, so I have lipedema, which is a loose connective tissue disease that afflicts like 1 in 11 women, and it distorts the way our body accumulates fat in our tissue.
Okay.
And I was advanced enough that it created damage to my lymphatic system. So for me, I would get swollen, and it was and just such a high pain threshold all the time. But when I followed a strict ketogenic diet, I found that the swelling came down, my pain went down, a million other things went right. And then later on I found out I had Lyme disease, which that was later in my journey. But I just felt better sugar-free. But I also have this big family. So for me, what's going to support my blood sugar, what's going to keep me in ketosis, and what's not going to hijack or drive inflammation. And that is what ultimately led me to allulose, because the other gummy bears on the market that were sugar-free, they like spiked my blood sugar, they made me feel like
And that's
crap.
because of the artificial sweeteners? What's going on with those?
Natural sweeteners. So like you have a brand like Smart Sweets, for example, right? So their primary sweetener, which is, they can say sugar-free, is called IMO, which is isomaltol oligosaccharide. And at one point in the keto space, it was thought to be a fiber, except that there is evidence and there are studies that show that it will literally spike your blood sugar the same as straight glucose. So you cannot have insulin rising and ketones circulating at the same time.
Right.
They just don't do that.
Right.
So not keto at all. And I thought it was just me in the beginning of my journey. Obviously since then, I mean,
because you're feeling it, you're feeling the difference.
Yeah, and I did get a Keto Mojo to test my ketones and my blood sugar. It's a ketone meter for anybody who's not tracking with that. You do a little finger prick and then it gives you your numbers. I still use one, but back then I was less educated and just trying to find my way as a person trying to follow a keto diet. I didn't even know back then that if somebody put keto on their package, that it could like not be keto.
Can they still do that?
Oh, all day long, and they do it all the time.
I figured as much, yeah.
But I didn't know that. I didn't know that people were lying in marketing like that. I was like, oh, okay.
What's kind of the loophole that lets them do that?
Well, there's no regulation for the phrase keto.
Okay.
I would like to change that, and I've definitely been
seems
speaking
like it should
to,
be.
I think, some of the right people in the space to get that changed. So like all of our products, for example, I approach it so backwards compared to everybody else. Like every ingredient that went into my gummy bears was like, okay, so if I'm going to use, I know natural flavors. Yes, natural flavors are a soupy, messy thing, and they can be a lot of things. And I never said that wasn't the case, but it's a candy, and I'm trying to do a better candy, right?
Right.
So then I was like, okay, so with the natural flavors, what's in the natural flavors? Like, what are you using as a carrier? And they're like, oh, well, could you use maltodextrin for if you're a dry product and you're using a dry flavor, or you can use sometimes oils like safflower oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, and I was like, no, we're not going to do that. And I also don't want GMOs, and I don't want any residual glyphosate. How do I control that? And that's what led us to organic choices. So it was an interesting thing. We replaced any of the oil carriers with MCT oil. And I was surprised that the formulators were willing to do that. And then, so now what we do is we have a very strict list of ingredients that they absolutely cannot include in any of our flavors. Not all of our products use flavors, but the gummy bears, it's candy.
Right.
And then we have these fruity chews that are also candy. So
Tried them both, by the way. Delicious.
yeah, they are. But even pectin. So like, here's a funny thing. So this is my wheelhouse. Like, how do you make a product that is actually keto? Meaning it's not going to spike your blood sugar. It's not going to impact your ketones. If you're following a strict ketogenic diet, how do you do that? The truth is if it is a processed food, which all of my products are processed, meaning we make them. The caramels are made in a big kettle and then they're poured and cooled. So all of the products we're making by adding ingredients. When you're buying ingredients through the food supply system, they are not what they say they are. So pectin, as for an example.
What is pectin?
So pectin is a fiber, and it comes out of like pears, or it comes out of apples and things like that, and it's raw form, and it is the fiber. It should have no impact on blood sugar. However, if you've had products that have pectin, even if they're sugar-free, they still spike your blood sugar. So why? What gives? Well, we found out while we were kind of evolving. My husband wanted to make the fruity chews, and he wanted to use pectin. I'm like, no, it spikes your blood sugar. We're not using pectin. And he's like, it's not supposed to, like actually, as a food.
Right.
So let's find out why. So we found out that almost every candy brand, if you're going to make candy or you're going to make a jelly or a jam, and you're going to use pectin, which is an ingredient you would need, right? It comes standardized for the food industry. Standardized means this: if it's a sugar product, it will be in a base of sugar and pectin.
So they mixed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's sugar-free, it's maltodextrin and pectin.
Pectin, yeah.
Not thinking, well, wait a minute, maltodextrin has a glycemic index of anywhere from 93 to 130. Like, maltodextrin is way worse blood sugar response-wise than actual straight sugar. So then my husband was like, wait, how do we get it without those either? And they were like, oh, you want non-standardized pectin. Oh, we can do that. It costs more.
Right.
We were like, okay. Like,
but you have to find your way there as well, instead of them just knowing what you're trying to do.
Yeah. And then we have to vet it and make sure.
Well, you're talking about that, keto mislabeling, and that a lot of people play fast and loose with the term.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if in a place like this and in the things that you're describing, maybe you could do a self-governing thing, so a voluntary type of label that has a particular type of certification. So if the government won't do it, that you guys could create some type of consortium, come to an agreement of what it can be and what it cannot be, do some type of verification or something like that, but then you guys could add things to your own labels.
Well, the problem is, here's why you can't do that. I mean, you can do that, and it is done. So I don't want to piss off the wrong people, but I probably will, and I'm just going to say it. So there is a certifying body, and you can see keto certified on products. Okay, that is strictly based on ingredients, the raw ingredients on your label. So I can put pectin in my product and get keto certified, but if it's standardized, if it's standardized pectin,
right.
I'm giving
so it sounds like the intention is already out there, but maybe it's not.
Well,
bulletproof.
So all of our products are ketogenic certified. So there is actually an organization that was started by Dr. Ryan Lowery, and it's called Ketogenic Certified. It's the whole phrase.
Is he kind of like the godfather of all this, or the gold standard, I guess?
I mean, I would say is that from a laboratory standpoint, yes, he's awesome.
And what's his name again?
His name is Dr. Ryan Lowery, and he's in Tampa.
Okay,
and
that's convenient.
And he's young.
Okay,
but he's a doctor, and his specialty is I think sports metabolism and that kind of thing. He works with elite athletes and things like that. So he offers a service where literally they get the product and it goes to a lab and it's tested on real humans in a clinical setting, and it cannot spike blood sugar and it cannot impair ketones, and there's like different segments of people. And I chose to get that certification because I was actually not sure if somebody else on a ketogenic diet would stay in ketosis eating my product, even though I am.
Right, because people are different.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want my products to do anything. In five and a half years, None of our products have spiked blood sugar. We have had somebody say, oh, this spiked my blood sugar. And then when I actually have a conversation, like one woman, like she woke up and her blood sugar was high the next morning. And I'm like,
well, what else did you do, right?
Like, did you eat anything else? Are you stressed out? Like,
yeah.
Let's have a conversation. Did you get a good night's sleep? Because there's a million things that could do that.
Mm-hmm.
But we've never found a verified. No one's ever said, "Oh, this spiked my blood sugar." And if anything, what I love, especially at these kinds of conferences, is most of us as biohackers, we're wearing continuous glucose.
Yeah, well,
I'm wearing one.
There you go.
And it's like they'll come up and they'll go, okay, and I'm like, all of our products are amazing. They support ketogenic lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, you can tell they're still skeptical and they don't trust me. And I'm like, they don't know me yet. And I'm like, it's okay. And they're like, I'm wearing a CGM. I'm like, awesome.
Give it a go. Yeah, good.
I'm like, yay,
we
take
can trust
3,
and verify.
Come back and tell me. And then they come back and they're like, what is this necromancy? I'm like, dude, it's allulose, and then it's clean ingredients that I've tested. So now I don't have any problem being very like, yes, our products support a ketogenic lifestyle. They really do.
Where do you find, all of that's amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Where do you find your ideal clients? So obviously at a health conference like this, but out there in the regular marketplace, are you finding maybe kids or youth athletics where you find the parents that want to give maybe a healthier snack to the kids?
Weirdly, yes, to all of that. But people are still, so you have people all over the spectrum. You have some people that are like, look, natural sugar, natural sweetener. Like even our pancake syrup. I will have people say, just use maple syrup. I'm like, okay, for somebody like you, that's fine. But like for me, where I really cannot have insulin rising from having too much sugar in my diet, I'm not going to eat maple syrup. It has a lot of carbs. It has a lot of sugar in it. I don't care if it's a natural sugar. My body doesn't know the difference.
Right.
So if I want to be sugar-free, like legitimately, then that takes a little more effort on my part. So there is always going to be a place for my product. For somebody who is trying to go more natural and they're not worried about your metabolism necessarily, and all they care about are like, we don't want toxic ingredients, fine. But if somebody really has the awareness of what sugar is actually doing to the body, then those are our ideal audience. And it doesn't matter if it's a parent. I mean, I have an army of type 1 diabetic moms that have found that with our gummy bears, which was our original product, right? So they could have their kid could have an entire bag of gummy bears without dosing.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
You know?
That's what was coming to mind, right? Kids are getting addicted to sugar very early on, and then they're carrying it with them the whole life. So maybe some of these in the lunchbox or whatever would maybe prolong them not, or get them through that early developmental age without getting hooked.
Yeah. Well, it carries them through. So as a mom of 4 kids myself, right? And I had my youngest daughter was super sensitive to sugar long ago. I mean, she's now 34. So she couldn't have sugar because I just observed that she turned into a little monster and she would just be very dramatic and it would be just overwhelming. So I had to regulate her sugar, and I found that, school, when they had birthday parties or they had special things, I was like, please call me if you're going to have one of those and I'll bring something appropriate for her so she doesn't feel excluded.
Yeah.
But they're not going to remember to call me. It's a school, right? So then I remember one time I picked up my daughter after school, and she was like 7, 8 years old, and she has big brown eyes like I do. And she was in tears, and her little eyes were all welled up. And I was like, what's up, honey? And she was like, they had a birthday party at school. They wouldn't let me eat any of the candy. They made me sit.
I got ostracized.
And I'm just sitting there as a mom going, oh my gosh, just give her the cupcake and I'll deal with the monster, but don't exclude my daughter, because what is the mental damage to this poor child? You know? So for me, this gives parents an opportunity to share. I don't know if you guys have seen the cholesterol code, but
which one?
The cholesterol code.
No.
Oh my gosh, Dave Feldman. It's amazing. It's an amazing movie. It's a new documentary that just came out. It's on Amazon. It's already getting massive reviews. And it's covering people that went on a meat-based or ketogenic diet and experienced very, very high cholesterol. And then there's this amazing study that was done on 100 people. And the way it unfolds is brilliant. But there's a little boy that's in it, and his mom anyway, she's one of our customers, and I just like to be able to have a product that her kid, who's an active athlete, right? He plays softball and he's awesome. And he doesn't ever have to feel left out. Like she can send him to the game and he can have gummy bears afterwards or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
It's like that, and then it tastes good as opposed to tasting.
Well, that's the thing. It tastes good. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
this healthy stuff tastes like cardboard. You would never eat it other than the reason I need to eat something and I'm trying to be healthy. I'm not eating it because it tastes good and I want to.
I was vegan many years ago in my health journey of trying to figure out what was wrong with me. So I was a whole food, plant-based vegan for 4 years. And I made everything from scratch. And it was very, intense. And I would eat so many oxalates. I'm surprised I'm still alive. But okay. But I remember making like the zucchini noodles for my grandson and like making this whole sauce. And he was just like,
I ain't having that.
He's just like, it's weird. I'm like, but is it weird or is it just because you expect? And he looks at me and he goes, oh my, it's weird. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. And he's like 17 now. He's grown and he loves my candy. And it's like, it just gives him something that he's willing to eat that doesn't feel weird. And my pancake syrup.
Yeah, well, I like that. I don't think I'm going to take all of that home. Yeah.
I just think it's really, I think even in this space where people are purists, the truth is that, and they do confess to me when they fall off the wagon, but when these guys fall off the wagon from a very health, ketogenic, or carnivore lifestyle, they fall hard.
Right.
And then the addiction set in.
And they come back in, that's it.
Let's not fall, right?
Yeah.
If you crave caramels, eat some of my caramels.
Some of these, yeah.
And then just get back on the wagon. Or make them a part of your lifestyle if they never, a lot of people don't ever binge.
Right.
So it's just, I'll have 2 or 3 caramels after a meal. It's intentional and it's delicious and it's like, and I'm satisfied.
It's like a little healthy dessert right there, guilt-free.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, look, so tell us again, where can people find you? Where can they find the product?
So my personal Instagram is Switch to Awesome, and that's where I share different things regarding my founder journey type of stuff. I am going to be doing a lot more with that, and I'm going to be launching a podcast.
Cool.
So where we're doing deep dive on ingredients and metabolic health that's my obsession is really, I think that we need to make people healthy. We need to save the humans.
Yeah, we got to be pro-human for sure.
We just got to get all of those components together. And then Switch to Zero is our handle for Switch. Some people call it Switch Sweets, but our name is Switch, but our website is Switch Sweets.
SwitchSweets.com. Yeah. I love it. Well, thanks so much. We're a great chat.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you too.
Nice. Here we go, Fitzy.
Yay!
Boom.